Your withdrawal request of $76,000 from trading account has been approved. Yes, sir. This unique trading strategy can completely change your life. I went from making 10 to 12K a month to secretly bankrupting multiple prop firms by using a method I like to call twinning the market. Once I moved away from popular trading strategies and simplified my approach, everything changed. So first things first, we need to identify a trend line breakout. So the market moves in 3 different types of ways, right? So the first way is an uptrend where we're moving up. The second is consolidation, where we're moving to the side, not really making any higher highs or lower lows. And the last way is a downtrend where price is making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. So right here I have an example of an uptrend, right? Price is making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So once we see this trend, what we want to do is we're going to take a line and we're going to connect all the higher lows with the trend line, right? Just like that. So we can see we are bouncing off of this line multiple times, right? We want to see at least 3 taps for it to be a valid trend line. So once we connected all the higher lows, right, we got our trend line. We're going to wait for this to break, resulting in a break of structure, right? Now this is very important. What is a break of structure? So as you can see, we were in a pattern. We were making higher highs and higher lows, but what happens when instead of making a higher low and respecting this trend line and going to make a higher high, what happens if we do this? We break the trend line and we break out of the pattern that we were forming. This is called a break of structure. So instead of making a new higher low and making a higher high, we made a lower low. So what happens when we have a break of structure and we make a new lower low? We tend to make a lower high and then a new lower low, and the market proceeds to change its direction, right? So this is the trade that we are trying to catch right here, when this market changes directions and breaks the trend line. So now let's look at this with some candlestick patterns. So I have this in replay mode right now, and I'm just gonna draw up a trend line, right? So we have a trend line right here. You can see price is bouncing off this multiple times, so I'm gonna count this as one whole tap right here. One tap, we dropped, came back, tapped it again, we dropped, we tapped it again. So we have 3 taps on this trend line, right? And when market is making lower lows and lower highs, the trend line is always gonna go on top. And if the market is in an uptrend, the trend line is always gonna go on the bottom, right? So this would also be a trend line right here for a buy situation because we are bouncing at the top. So we have this trend line, and once it breaks, that's the market showing its hand and letting us know what direction it wants to go in. So now that we know what direction the market wants to go in, we need to wait for a supply or demand push. Now, what is a supply and demand push, right? So a supply and demand push is very simple to understand. It's just a set of multiple candles, the same color, showing momentum in the market. So I'm going to mark out some supply and demand candles so you can see them, right? So as you can see right here, we have this huge candle, right? And just in this candle in itself is a demand push, but we also got a second candle, right, making an even stronger demand push. You usually want to see 2 to 3 candles, but the bigger the candles are, the less candles you can have, right? So even if this candle was by itself, it's strong enough to be a demand push, right? So we got a demand push right here, right? And remember, demand means buy, meaning it's going up, and supply means sell, meaning it's going down, right? So this is a demand push, right? This is a supply push. We have 1, 2, 3 candles all in a row, all the same color, showing momentum, getting bigger and bigger. It looks great, right? This is a supply push. This is a demand candle. It's one candle, but it's very huge, way bigger than all the other candles next to it, right? This is a demand push. This is a demand push. 1, 2, 3 candles, the same color, showing momentum in the markets, getting bigger and bigger, right? That is a demand push. It's very simple, no need to overcomplicate it. This is not a supply push. It is not strong enough. We would need another candle to count this, or these candles would need to be bigger. This is a demand push because look how strong they are. We have 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles, showing momentum, showing strength in the market, right? So this is a demand push. This is not a supply push. This is 3 candles, the same color, but they are very weak. They are not strong like these ones, right? We need to see big, strong candles showing momentum in the market. We're just looking for multiple candles that are showing momentum and are the same color. Very simple. So we have that right here in this example. We have our trend line break. We have a demand push. Now we need to locate a gap in the market. Now a gap in the market is kind of like an error that the market makes, and we can use that to our advantage. So the way to locate a gap in the market is you want to look at the first or second candle in your demand push and see which one doesn't have wicks. Funded Next is the only prop firm that has a 15% profit split in the challenge phase. That means after you pass your challenge, you're gonna get paid for doing it. They got no time limits and guaranteed payouts. If you don't get paid in 24 hours, they're gonna add an extra $1,000 on top of your payout. Not to mention that they have the best trading conditions and you can trade on MT4, MT5, C Trader, Match Trader, whatever you want to use, they got it. Only con that I could find on this prop firm is that they're not available in the US. So if you're outside the US, use my code FXCarlos and you'll get 120% refund on completion of your challenge. And if you want a reliable broker that you can trade MT4 on, then you're going to want to go with Henko Trade. I've been with them for years and they're the only ones that I trust with a large amount of money. So I'll put my affiliate links down below. If you want to trade with the people that I recommend, then go to the description, click that link and sign up. Let's get back to the video. On the left to the right of the candle, right? If you don't know what a wick is, it's basically this tail that's coming out the candle, right? So all these tails right here, these are wicks, right? So we're gonna look to the left and right of this and notice, hey, there's no wicks right here. Now these wicks are supposed to touch, right? So on this candle wick right here, it's supposed to come up right here and touch this third candle's wick, right? They're supposed to touch, but they are not. There's no wicks on either side. So what do we do to confirm it? We're going to go to the first candle before the demand push, right? So if this is the demand push, we go to the candle before it. We're gonna put a line at the top of the wick right there. Let me delete this for now so we don't get confused. Okay, so now that we have our line on top of this wick right here, we're gonna skip the candle we think has the gap, go to the third candle and put a line at the bottom of this candle or wick. If there's no wick, put it at the bottom of the candle, right? So now this is our gap. Let me put this a little bit more back so you can see. All right, so in real time, this is what the gap looks like, right? So this gap needs to be filled 100% of the time, all right? Not 99, not 98, it's 100% of the time these gaps need to be filled, and we usually get a big reaction when they are filled. Now, one thing is we don't know when it will be filled. It could take days to be filled or it could get filled instantly, which we would take advantage of, right? So this is the gap in the market. This needs to be filled. So once we locate the gap, we're going to take a rectangle and we're going to draw from the first line that we drew, right? At the beginning of the demand or supply push, and we're going to draw it to the swing low. The swing low is just the lowest point before that demand push, right? So we would draw it right there, drag it out and get ready for an entry. So now let's do a quick recap of this trade before we take this trade and see the results, even though we already seen the results, right? So first we had our trend line break right here, right? Beautiful trend line break. This lets us know which direction the market wants to go in. Then we have a demand push, letting us know that there's some big players entering trades in this area, in this box right here. Then we ask ourselves, did we have a break of structure? Yes, we did. So we had a lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we were trying to make a lower high, but for a lower high to be valid, we have to make this lower low. So until this lower low is made, this lower high is not valid. It is not a valid lower high. So that would not be our break of structure, right? So since this lower high had a lower low, this is our break of structure. So once we broke and closed above these candles, we had a break of structure in the market. So now we have a trend line break, a demand push, a break of structure, and we just identified a gap. All we're going to do is wait for this gap to be filled and enter us in the trade. So we would get our long position, put it a little bit before the box because we don't want to miss out on trades, and a little bit after so we don't get wicked out by 1 pip. Put this to a 1 and 3 minimum, right? We can go higher, we can go lower. 1 and 3 is a safe spot. And then all we're going to do is wait for it to get tapped. See, we were tapped right there. Tapped again. TP was hit, right? See how high this goes, right? Beautiful. So you might be asking yourself right now, what is this gray box that I have in the background, right? So this is an indicator called sessions. Now we only want to be looking for trades at 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. So just do the conversion for your time zone, right? But 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, this is when we want to take trades. And the indicator I use is called sessions. All you got to do is go to indicators, type in sessions, and you're going to get the one that says sessions on chart by AU Rocks, right? Just click that one, and these are my settings. You're going to turn all these off besides this one, change the color. Inputs, you're going to go to New York session, and for Pacific times you're going to turn this to 8 and you're going to put this to 12, and then that will convert into 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. This is where we want to be taking trades. Now you might be asking why, because after 9 a.m. I've noticed after years of trading that it starts consolidating. So let's forward this and you can see we're starting to consolidate, right? We do not want to be taking trades in this consolidation. We want nice price action. Now before we look at some more examples, what pairs do I trade this with, right? What are the best pairs? So I like to trade this with gold, NASDAQ, and AUD USD. Those are my favorite 3 pairs. What days do you want to trade this on? You can trade this every day besides Wednesdays and Sundays, and Fridays is a little iffy, but you can still get away with it. But Wednesdays are no trade days, and I don't even count Sunday as a trading day. So let's go look at one more example, and then we're going to talk about what is twinning the market. So we're right here on Friday the 28th at 4:30 a.m. So you're probably saying, I thought you said we trade at 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, we do. We enter trades at that time, but the trend can be before that. But we only enter trades at 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we have this trend forming, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, right? So we're going to wait for this to break. So let's forward. Okay, we get the break. So we get the break of the trend line. And you can see right here, we made a higher high, price tried to make a higher low, but instead of making a higher low, we broke structure. So now we have 2 things on our side. What else do we have? A nice supply push, multiple candles, the same color, showing momentum in the market. So what's the next step? We're going to identify a gap in the market. Now on this push, you can see multiple gaps, right? If you look to the left and right of this candle, there is no wick. So one thing I forgot to mention, when you're looking for a gap on a demand push, right? You put the wick at the top of the first candle, you skip the second one, go to the third one, you put it at the bottom, right? So this is the gap in the market. But when it's in a sell situation, you do the opposite. Instead of putting the first line at the top of the candle, you're gonna put it at the bottom of the candle. So what does that mean? So we have this supply push right here, right? So you can see this first candle on the supply push. We go to the one before and we're gonna put the line at the bottom of the first candle, right? And then at the top of the third candle. So now this is our gap. So now that we have a trend line break, a break of structure, a supply push, a gap in the market. So now we're gonna draw our box from the first line we drew to the swing high, which is the highest point before we got that push, and then drag it out. And now we just wait to enter. But remember, we have to be in our sessions. So let's go wait for 5 a.m. There's 5 a.m. when this box opened up, 5 a.m. So now we're waiting to enter. Let's get our short position. Remember, put it a little bit before the box, a little bit after the box. 1 to 3 minimum. Boom, tapped in right there. Ooh, immediately dropped. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. And this is the type of reactions you want off your zones. This is why I've been able to literally bankrupt prop firms, because all these confluences let me know which supply and demand zone is going to be the strongest and have the highest win rate and have the biggest pushes off of them. So if we forward it, see TP was hit, and look how much it melted. You could just play this out. Look at that. Oh my God, that is unbelievable. That is a 1 to 12 right there. That is ridiculous. 1 to 12. If you were to hold this all the way down to here, you would have to lose 12 times in a row to be break even. And with this high win rate strategy, we are not losing 12 times in a row. We're not even losing 3 times in a row, 2 times in a row sometimes. So this is the strategy that completely changed my life and lots of my students. Just this week, my student has been able to afford a Range Rover by only using his trading profits. So if you're looking to get profitable in 45 days, then go to the description, click the link, apply to join my mentorship. And if you're a good fit, then we're going to get you some results. The best part is it's guaranteed. So I'm not going to let you leave my group until you're profitable. This will be the last investment you will ever have to make. No more blowing prop firm challenges. No more buying courses after courses. You will leave this group profitable. Now let's get into what is twinning the market. So twinning the market is essentially copy trading, meaning we get multiple prop firm accounts and link them all together. So when I take a trade on one account, it automatically copies to the other accounts. So let's say I have 5 prop firm accounts. Instead of just making 3% on that day, we are now making 15% on that day in just one trade. Now, this is how I've been literally able to bankrupt multiple prop firms. And the reason why I changed the phrase copy trading to twinning the market is because people can mix that up with copying another trader's trades. And that is not what we're doing. We're copying our own trade on multiple accounts. So now I'm going to show you guys how to set it up so you can start twinning the market. So I'm going to go to this new prop firm that I'm trying out called Take Profit Trader. It's probably like my 7th fucking prop firm, but a lot of people have told me good things about it, so I'm trying it out right now. So what you would want to do is go to accounts, right? So you see we have 5 accounts right here. You're going to go to manage groups. Right here, you're going to put group name. You're going to put TPT, right? Take Profit Trader. Put OK. And then you're going to drag every account over here, right? That's all you got to do right there. Hit save. After you save it, you're going to come down to TPT. Make sure you click this. And you see the TPT under the account name, right? So whatever trades you take on this account is going to copy to every other trade. Let's say we wanted to take a trade right here, right? If we want to do 1 contract, we need to times it by 5, right? Because we have 5 accounts. So what we would do right here, if we wanted to enter on 1 contract per account, we would put 5 in. Oh, that's 51. That's not what we want to do. Put 5 in and it'll disperse the contracts to every single account. So we're not entering 5 contracts on this one account. It's going to be 1 on every single account. So I'm just going to enter sell right here, or what does it look like it's doing? It's going up. So let's enter a buy. So if we entered a buy right there, then that means we entered 1 contract on every single account when we're talking about futures, right? Tradeovate is a futures broker. So if you're trading Forex, then obviously there's other ways to do it, but this is how you do it for the futures market. So now if I come and click on another account, you can see we're up the same amount of money, $40, right? Go to another account. It's the same amount of money, $40, right? $50. So this is what you call twinning the market, because it's like twin trades, right? On 5 accounts. And if you want to close these positions all at the same time, you just got to hit sell the market, right? Because we're in a buy for 5 contracts. When you hit sell the market for 5 contracts, it'll just take you out of all the positions, right? So we're up $50 right here. I'm going to sell the market, closes all of them, right? Go to this one, it's closed. Go to this one, it's closed, right? So that's all you have to do to start twinning the market. But that's it for this video. Lock in, study this, take down notes, and apply it, and tag me on Instagram when you start winning your trades. I'll see you guys in the next one.